So I'm really excited to tell you that I got a new discus fish, and right now I'm floating it in one of my tanks to get it temperature acclimated. And it's been floating in the tank for some time, not in this one. I have another tank and the temperature is the same. So I'll just bring it and show you what I got. It's a tiger turquoise, I think it's called. It's really beautiful. I'll transfer it in my tank now. I'll add some water from the tank and then we will see it how it looks. And also there is a trick I want to do while I'm shifting the fish in the tank, because discus are territorial fish, they're cichlids. So what I'm going to do is I'll add some food in the water first so the fish get distracted by the food, and then I will add the fish in the main tank so that everything goes well. Okay. So let me just cut this bag open and drain out some of the water so I can add the new one. So I've switched off the light of the tank so the new fish doesn't get stressed out too much, and also it will probably let the other fish calm down a little. And I'll let the bag float for a little more while, and then I will transfer the fish in the tank. But before that I will have to feed the fish so they get distracted. Now you might be wondering why I'm not quarantining the fish right now. Number one, I checked the fish at the fish store. It looked really well. I don't think it has any problems, but right now I'm going through some crisis. I have a quarantine tank which already has some fish, and I'm going through some problems there, so I don't want to put this fish in there. And if I didn't have space in my quarantine tank, you might wonder, why did I get the fish in the first place? Well, the thing is here, in this part of the world, sometimes if you find a good fish and if you don't get it right away, you might never get it at all for a very long time. So yeah, this was my chance to get it and store it, so I got it, yes. So we'll wait for a few minutes and then I'll come back. So it's been a while. I think now it's time to put some food for the fish and let the new fish get free in the tank. So I'll feed some frozen dried brine shrimps to the fish so they get distracted. Okay, so the food is ready for the fish and I'm just gonna put it in the tank. The fish is in the tank. I like to transfer the fish with my hands because I feel it's much gentle on them. So I will just show you the fish. It's beautiful. I hope the other fish get along with it. So today is the second day since I shifted the fish in this tank, and there are a few things I want to mention here. Initially everything went very well, but after a few minutes what I started to see was that I had a breeding pair in this tank which started to get very aggressive towards the new fish, and I gave it some time that it might, things might come back to normal, but it did not, and they were just very aggressive towards the new fish. And this is not the first time I have witnessed this thing. They had shown the same behavior towards another fish that I was keeping separate, but I was thinking maybe they're having this particular behavior or this kind of aggression towards that particular fish, maybe because that fish was much bigger in size, so maybe they were intimidated or something. So this time I brought a smaller fish, but the same thing happened. And these kind of things are normal to happen because at the end of the day they are cichlids, and cichlids have this kind of aggression issues. Even though what I've noticed so far is that discus in general are very peaceful fish towards other fish, but sometimes toward each other they can be really aggressive. Now, if I talk about all my other fish in the tank, all discus, all of these, They really have amazing temperament. They pick at each other, which is normal for cichlids and for in general for many fish. You will see whenever you add different new fish in the tank, they will pick at each other to show that who is more dominant and who is less. They have some sort of hierarchy in the tank. So these guys are very fine, no aggression issues, but with the breeding pair I had, I was suffering. So how did I fix this issue is that I took out the breeding pair and I kept them in a separate tank so they can spawn there, they can breed there. I was keeping them there before and they had some spawns, but they were not successful. So now I decided to keep them separate for some time, let them breed, let them spawn, let them breed. Maybe we can get some amazing discus babies. And until then, I can give time to the new fish to get used to this tank, and once after a few weeks or maybe after a few months, when I shift the breeding couple back to the main tank, hopefully the newer fish here will be better able to fight off the aggression, or maybe the breeding pair might not show as much aggressiveness as they are showing now. I also want to mention that once I put the small fish in here, I right away introduced a bigger fish in the tank also that I was keeping separate, because sometimes it's a good idea that you don't introduce one single discus fish in a group of discus, because there are much higher chances for that particular discus to get bullied. So it's always a good idea when you're bringing new discus to bring them in group, or the best thing is to get them in group in the first place. I did that in the beginning, and even now when I have been introducing one single fish at a time, I didn't really have any issues. It's just lately that the breeding pair just got way too aggressive. So if you're keeping discus, if you want to keep any sort of cichlids, let it be angelfish, German blue rams, and discus, you have to keep these things in mind, that these are cichlids, they can be aggressive towards each other. So you have to be prepared for different kinds of scenarios. I was lucky that I have multiple tanks right now, so I was able to shift them here and there and balance things out. Hope you like this video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and please let me know in the comment section if you have better suggestions on handling discus aggression. And please, this is a new channel, please consider subscribing it, and I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.